Welcome, and thanks for joining. My name is Patrick, and today I'm going to give you an overview of BlueFletch Enterprise and highlight some of the tools we have available for securing and managing your Android devices. Let's start by looking at some of the features and tools we have available. The areas in blue will be demonstrated later in this presentation, so make sure you stick around to see that live demo. For login and authentication, our Enterprise Launcher acts as the home screen for your devices. This controls a user's access to applications and provides a secure browsing experience to make sure users are only able to access applications available to them. We have a single sign-on authentication module that can hook up to your existing identity provider, such as Okta, Ping, Azure AD, or any OIDC compliant identity providers. And to make it quick for users to get back into their session, we provide multiple re-authentication methods such as PIN code, face recognition, and NFC badge tap. To ensure devices are locked down and able to be recovered, I'll be highlighting our device finder feature to locate devices within your organization. We also have low battery alarms, remote control, and the ability to remotely device wipe to ensure maximum security and prevent devices being lost or misplaced in your organization. Finally, with user and device compliance, our support application is responsible for sending all telemetry data and metrics from devices for reporting. This provides device check-in and check-out reporting to know who's using a device and when. I'll also highlight identity provider integration, as I mentioned, with out-of-the-box support for Okta and Azure AD. Now, let's look at a high-level user flow of shared devices in the enterprise. In its simplest terms, this diagram represents the shared device lifecycle. A user will pick up a device that's completely locked down and ready for login. When they trigger login, BlueFletch will then call directly out to your company standard for identity and security and allow a user to log in with their credentials. We know what role and what group a user belongs to, so we can provide a customized and secure access for that user based on their role. A user can access any of their applications with single sign-on using modern OIDC and OAuth protocols, and SAML as well for web apps. Once that user is done for the day, they'll click the Logout button. Here, BlueFletch will then clean up all user session information and clear any cached user data on the device. The device will then be in a completely reset and clean mode for the next user to pick up and continue their work. Now let's dive deeper into the Enterprise Launcher. This is your home screen replacement for Android rugged devices. It's very customizable and built with security as our #1 priority. As mentioned, we support single sign-on and is compatible with any major identity provider. We restrict access to applications based on a user's role or group within an organization and provide access to apps that are only required for a user's day-to-day operation. Since we're having a user log in and log out of the device, we've got a much better accountability chain, almost like checking out a library book at the library. And then when a user's done, we can clear all that cached data immediately upon logout or cradling of the device. There's some other features we'll get into later in our demo, but do know that this is extremely customizable and configurable for your organization. The next application I wanted to highlight is the support application. This is an application and service that runs on your device to capture real-time data and better support your device fleet remotely. We collect over 25 hardware data points every 30 minutes, information about your software and operating systems that are installed, and we have a front-end UI that users can leverage to contact the help desk and quickly get support for any of their issues. This is also the backbone of our check-in, check-out data to know who's using a device and where they might have been using it last. There's also an SDK, and we can feed this data to Splunk and Power BI if you have additional integration options. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out to me at my contact info here. I know that was pretty brief and high level, but it might make more sense to jump into a demo. So let's switch gears and look at this actually on two devices, configured slightly differently. You can see it is very customizable. We've got a light theme and a dark theme. Logos, wallpapers, accent colors, icons, and text are completely customizable. You'll see this is the open zone. These are applications that any user can access when they pick up the device. This is usually used for applications that do not require authentication behind a secure service. For example, a self-service password reset or our support application to see information about the device in case you need to contact the help desk. The main call to action is our login button here. So let's see what that looks like. This device is configured to point to our Azure AD as the identity provider. We do no user syncing in our system, so this is going directly to the identity provider as the source of truth. I'll log in at the beginning of the day with my secure credentials and then be prompted to tap my NFC badge for re-authentication. You'll see now that I'm successfully logged in. The launcher knows who I am and is providing me access to applications for my role. For re-authentication, you'll see if the device were to go to sleep or if I were to put it in my pocket for an extended amount of time, I'd come to wake it up and be prompted to tap my NFC badge rather than having to type in my secure password each time. I tap my badge and I'm immediately back into my session. Let's see that on a different device. So I'll go to login. This device is set up to link to Okta as the identity provider. And I've set the PIN code as the re-authentication method for this device. Same concepts. I'll set it at the beginning of my session and it's active throughout the day. This user is set up as a manager role, so she has access to elevated applications such as our device locator tool. This can be used to ping devices and find out where devices are within your organization. If I scroll down, you'll see I logged in most recently on this device. But say I wanted to have Patrick bring the device back to me. Well, I can send a message and have them please return the device so we can locate it and get it charged up. You'll see the alarm comes in and must be dismissed by a user. One thing I also discussed was single sign-on. Since I logged into Azure AD on the device on the left, I now have access to all my Microsoft applications. You'll see I'm automatically logged in as my user. and I have access to my Outlook or Calendar web apps. This is true for any OAuth 2 and OIDC compliant applications and websites. And we can work with you to integrate with any of your third-party or legacy applications that might not support these protocols yet. A unique feature we have is also integration with the Avanti Velocity client. We also provide single sign-on, as you'll see in this quick demo. It's going to go out to Azure AD and provide that information for that automatic sign-on. As you see, that happens pretty fast. At the end of the day, a user is going to want to log out of their device by either cradling the device or clicking the log out button. When I click log out, what's going to happen behind the scenes is the launcher will immediately clean up any of my cache data and user information, so I'm not able to access any of the previous applications, and the device is in a clean state for the user. The support application lives on the device, as mentioned, and can highlight a number of information about your device, including software, such as operating system. You'll see this device is running Android 10, as well as all of your installed applications on the device. If you need to contact the help desk, we can provide a shortcut to your dialer with a support number, and your device ID is handy for quick reference if needing to work with a remote support team and provide a serial unique identification. We can also integrate with ServiceNow to directly open a ticket from your device if necessary. All these events are sent up to our EMS portal, which shows the same check-in, check-out data and a lot more information about how your devices are used. Let's take a look at that now. BlueFletch Enterprise is access to our portal. Here, all the support application data is consolidated and presented in an easy-to-digest format. You'll see we first start by showing the check-in, check-out log of each device and showing the last known user. Of course, the devices I just showed you, Patrick McGlynn and Tina Manager, are appearing here. We show the battery life, total number of devices reporting, not reporting, and other devices that might have issues. I can also dive deep into a device and understand more about what's installed on this device. You'll see we were looking at a TC57 running Android 8. There's information about the battery, your installed applications and what versions those are, as well as information about your network. I can play the same Find Me device ping, sorry about the noise, on the device from the portal that I could from the device locator tool. And I can also initiate a chat. You'll see that the user has the ability to request an incoming chat session. And now we're able to chat. This can be great for remote support and to avoid having to hop on the phone to address any issues you may have. If you'd like to test any of these features, including our support application and enterprise launcher, which is configurable from our portal, please reach out and we can set up a sandbox demo environment for you to set up against your identity provider, test login, test the shared user modes, and test any of the other features I've highlighted today. I want to thank you for spending the time to join me today and learn more about BlueFletch Enterprise, and please reach out if you have any questions. Thanks again for joining. Have a good day.